Hey everybody, Kyle here with Spicer Designs. Welcome back to the channel. All right, how the f am I getting off this thing? Yeah. Whew. Well, today we are finally going to start on the ultimate welding cart. I bought this tool chest from Harbor Freight probably close to 3 years ago. But let me show you why I'm building the ultimate welding cart. Mainly because this horse setup just isn't cutting it anymore. It's stupid. This right here is the lower half of a tool chest that my dad got me when I was like 8. Still got it. There's just not enough space in here. Nothing's organized. Not really designed to be a welding cart. Plus, there's nowhere to put the bottles on it. So anytime I want to move this thing around, I have to literally grab the bottle, carry it along with it as I roll it around the shop. Again, stupid. I know that you're all just dying to know what I have behind these moving blankets. This is some shelving right here. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to disappoint you because it's nothing special. I'm going to finally reveal it. Yeah. Mainly just crap that I don't really want to be shown in the videos. Kind of a cluster. So there we go. We've got an old hoist for the I-beam that was out of my old garage. We have the little Arc Captain 130 suitcase stick welder, handy little bugger. Some borax for the plasma table. We have our Arc Captain, what was this called again? 200P? TIG 200P. This is the TIG welder that Arc Captain sent me. And I really want to get better at TIG welding. The only problem is I have nowhere to put it. So it sits here. When I want to use it, I have to pull it all out, get it all hooked up. It's a pain in the ass. Bunch of other junks, miscellaneous parts, electrical stuff, some wire loom for the golf cart, some boots, Thor goods, good boots. Mainly what I wanted to show you was the TIG welder, because that TIG welder and the Hobart MIG welder are what are going to be going onto the new Ultimate Welding Cart. Let's cover this crap back up. Now you can pick up these US General tool chests at Harbor Freight for I think they're like 290 bucks when they're not on sale. I definitely got it when it was on sale. I think it was like $240. And I thought that this would be the perfect fit for what I was trying to do. I did look at other welding carts, but none of them really were what I wanted. And they were kind of expensive. They were like $400 or $500 for like a decent one. And this thing has way more storage for half the price, and it still left me some money left over to budget for some other upgrades. Now you can see I already got a little bit of a head start on this thing. I have a piece of plate mounted to the top of it. The first thing I had to do in order to get that plate on there, beef up these gas shocks. The ones that came on it were not strong enough to support this piece of 3/16 plate. That's a lot of weight. And you can see that it holds it quite nice, and you can lower it down with one finger, and you can raise it with one finger. The other thing I had to do was remove the locking system. There were a couple of pieces right here and right here that only allows the drawers to open if the lid is open. I thought that was stupid, so I removed them because there's probably going to be a lot of times where I am welding on top of this, or I have a project up here and I need to access a drawer, and it otherwise would have been locked. Now you'll notice that the 3/16 plate is floating off of the lid of this tool chest. There's these little red spacers in there. These red spacers right here are actually electrical insulators. The metal threaded area right here and the metal threaded area right here are both isolated from each other. So there's no continuity from this metal to that metal. The reason that I did that was because all of my projects are going to be grounded to this tabletop. And for some reason, if something was to strike an arc and touch the metal of the tool chest, I basically didn't want this to be grounded, only the tabletop. The other good thing about doing it this way is I created a nice 1-inch air gap in between that'll help dissipate heat. So I'm not cooking the lid of this tool chest underneath here and possibly creating a fire hazard. Now, like most of my videos, this is just the way that I'm doing it. Not saying it's the best way or the only way to do it. The point of my videos are just to get your creative juices flowing. You gotta love those juices. Maybe you'll have some different ideas for your own project, or you can copy exactly what I'm doing. I don't really give a shit. The main thing is you want it to be beefy. So it's on to the next phase of the project. Don't mind all these boxes. I have to break them down still. And I have some 1x1 square tube. I think this is a 12 gauge sidewall. And we're gonna be using the Evolution miter saw. This is the S355 MCS. We'll of course have links in the description, and believe it or not, I even have a discount code. No shit. So I'm gonna start getting all of this square tube cut up into all the sections that I need. We'll throw it on the fab table and we will start welding this together. This is basically gonna be the shelf system on the left side of that cart, which will hold both the ARC Captain TIG welder and the Hobart MIG welder. Watch by the truck. All right, I've got this thing all tacked together, but I can show you the basic idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here. And I really spent the time making sure that everything was square, and I'm telling you, this thing is freaking perfect. Like, you could look right down the side of it, everything is in line. So if you're gonna do it, take your time. So the plan is, I wanna try to reuse the existing bolt holes that are there. It's gonna mount just like that, or so. It's gonna hang down a little bit lower, and then we're gonna have the Hobart welder right here and the ARC Captain TIG welder right here. And then underneath this section, I'm gonna bend some 14 gauge. I'm gonna have a storage compartment right in there that is going to house all of the lead for the MIG torch. The idea is that everything is going to look nice and clean and sleek and tucked away. This is the old one-eyed customs theory. Everything has a place, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish. All right, I'm gonna get all the finish welds on this thing, get it temporarily mounted up to the cart. That way all the holes are in place, and then we can start cutting out some sheet metal. So now I'm going to hop on the laptop, get on Fusion, which is the CAD software that I like to use with my Langmuir Crossfire Pro plasma table. Links in the description. And I'm gonna start designing all of the sheet metal pieces for these shelves. All right, so here is one of the pieces that I cut on the Crossfire Pro. The thing is such a time saver. I can't say it enough. And here's one of them that I already have bent. You just saw me use the brake on this thing. I put a small little 1/2" radius on the end of that. And I didn't do my final welds yet because I left a big enough, come on, Dozer. He's like right up in my face. I left like an 1/8" gap between the square tube and everything else. Just give me a second and I'll get you some food. Come on. So I put a little reveal here on the front of the sheet metal, and I left like an 1/8" gap on that sheet metal from the square tube, because basically what I want to do is make one pass right here with the welder, which will weld this piece of square tube to this main one going vertical, and it will weld the sheet metal shelf to it as well. One weld is going to do it all. I'm going to come all the way around this thing, and then I'll put a bunch of tacks underneath here. But basically that welder is going to sit on this just by gravity. So with this lip here, if I'm rolling this thing across and I hit something that brings it to an abrupt stop, that welder won't go shooting off the end. At least that's the idea. The wife and the girls are off at a basketball game right now. So I brought his dinner out here to the shop, and it is 5:30. You ready, boy? You want some food? I got a piece of chicken in there for you too. Yeah? All right, here's your water right here. There you go, buddy. Of course he went for the chicken first. I don't blame him. Pretty good, boy. On, back off. I like to try to dig in his bowl, so I don't want him to bite anybody, so I'm trying to get him used to that. Don't mess with Dozer when it comes to dinner time. That dog can eat. I know I just mentioned this thing in the last video, but honestly, this thing freaking works amazing. I'm really glad that I got it. It's perfect for what I'm doing. I'm gonna get this thing in the brake, get these mocked up, and then I'll start designing the storage compartment underneath here for the cable management. I'll get all that stuff wrapped up. We'll check back. I'm not gonna go through every single little detail with you. All right, here we go. I got this thing all welded up. I got my little standoffs in here to kind of support the top. I think I might have to do a little bit more work on that. So the rod couplings, you can see it in there, were a little bit shorter than what I was used to. I found those at Home Depot, and I need it to be just a little bit longer. You know what I'm talking about. So I might change this up or add something up here. This is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but you can get the gist there. And I ordered some plastic end caps for 1-inch square tube. So I'll put those end caps in all those holes here, and there's a couple down low. And this little storage compartment right here worked out really well when I bent that on the brake. It's pretty damn solid. On the back side, I put some expanded steel in there so I can maybe take the air compressor and just blow it out once in a while. All right. Damn it. Oh, she's tight. I'm gonna have to back door it. Or front door. Prefer the front door. Come on. Come on, baby. It wasn't supposed to be that tight. So I made this 1/2-inch lip on here knowing that this needed to clear. That's why I didn't go any higher than that, but it's enough to keep it from falling out. So the idea for this one going right here and not having a cross brace was that I could still open this to reload the wire spool. And that looks like it's gonna work just great. Now it is a snug fit. I knew it would be snug, but I kind of needed all the room I can get. We'll stuff that Arc Captain one in there too real quick just to see what it looks like since we're doing it. All right, let me get this freaking TIG welder. Damn it. Come on. And for the TIG machine. That one, I probably could have bought myself a little bit more room up top. That's all right though, we're good. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. The Arc Captain fits very nice underneath there. There is a handle. I was possibly gonna remove that handle. I didn't want to if I didn't have to. I think we'll be okay. Yeah, that's perfect. I like it. I didn't realize how big that MIG welder is. That thing is big, bulky, husky, girthy. I'm not worried about the ground because I have plans for this. All right, so I'm gonna say, put it in here, and we'll just coil this thing up. And this, oh yeah, there is plenty of room for that thing. And there should, you know, I ought to just freaking leave it open. There's really no point to putting a freaking door on that. I think if I put a door on that, it's just gonna overcomplicate it. All right, so I really, really like the way that this looks. Hopefully it'll keep some of the dust off the top of these things too. I'm always wiping them down. So the next step is the bottle holders. 2 bottles, 1 holder. And that is gonna go on the opposite side. You know, I gotta even out the weight. Back on to Fusion. I'm gonna get all of these sheet metal pieces designed. We'll get them cut out, bent, and mounted. And test it. Picked a great month to stop drinking beer. I was waiting on this stupid ass furnace. I just got my 2 propane tanks filled. The one by the house was at 40%. The one at the shop here was at like 20-ish%. So the shop tank took 345 gallons, $690. That one kind of made my butt hurt. The house tank took 250 gallons for $500.16. And we've been burning firewood every single day. Granted, it doesn't completely heat our house. We still run the furnace at night to kind of even out the temperature. That is a swift kick in the nuts right there. Come on, furnace. Whatever. I don't even give a shit anymore. All right, here is the bottom section. I know this thing looks bulky. This is the bottom section for the tank holder. Let me give you a closer look. So I cut this middle section right here all in one piece. So we've got a break right here, comes down, we got a break right there, up, and we got a break right there. Our 2 circles cut out for the tanks. And then I cut 2 of these side pieces individually. I put like a little arc in there. I'm gonna do a little paint job on that. Same with the other side. And then on the bottom, you can see, I've got a piece of 1-inch square tube. That way, any kind of debris will just fall right through. It won't collect in like a bottom pan here. And I had to fancy it up there with bottle service. Never had bottle service, but it sure sounded cool. I wasn't straight pimping enough to get bottle service, but I got it now. Now the reason I made this so big is because I do want to block this section off. I have a plan for the lower section here that's all open. I want to kind of close it off. This is going to mount up right here, and I want to test fit this, of course. I need to make sure that the bottles are going to clear these swivel casters on the bottom. So I'm going to get this thing all drilled out. We'll temporarily mount it up, and then we'll see how the bottle fits before I start on the upper section. And then we might be wrapping this one up. So I only have like a day and a half to edit this and post it for Saturday. But at the end of the day, who really gives a shit? All right, got it all temporarily bolted up. It fits really freaking nice. All the reveals are perfect. Except for that one. Okay, now it's perfect. So I have a bottle of argon that is not connected right now. We're gonna just stick that in the hole, and you know what happens next. All right. It's got a nice little ring to it. So the way I had this thought out in my head, kind of scary, I sat this thing a little bit lower than the bottom of this cart because I wanted the clearance. I didn't want the gauges sticking up past the top in case I was sliding something around. I wanted it to be below. It's going to be really close. So, that fits nice. That is looking really good. The circle that I have cut out there, I have 2/10 more than the diameter of the tube, which is 7 inches. So it's like 7.2. And I think that's pretty good. Once that regulator is in there, it should be just below the tabletop. It's going to add a nice counterweight to the other side that'll counter the welders, mostly that Hobart welder. So the next step is to build the section that is actually going to kind of holster these things and hold them in place. That is where I'll unlock them and I can change them out. Now I could make this upper section really simple. I could just throw a couple of little chains on there, but I like to overdo things. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I have some ideas. I'm gonna draw it out on Fusion here tonight, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this stuff all done, cut, fabricated, and mounted. I really wanted to end the video with all of this built, and then we could do the fine tuning in the second video, but I'm gonna end it right here. So if you wanna see the rest of this build, please consider subscribing. That would be your best bet, because then, you know, I'll pop up when the next video posts, which will hopefully be next weekend. Should be. Maybe. I don't know when. But soon. Because after this project, a lot of you guys have been waiting for the next big build, which is turning my box store log splitter into a vertical splitter. I've had the parts for it. I'm really excited to do it. I just haven't had time. A big part of that project was getting this one done so I could use this when I build that. That was confusing. So next video, finishing the top. We're gonna get everything in place, run all the cables, all of the gas hoses, and get this thing all tidied up, and we'll see where we get. I'm spending the extra time on this video for you. This may be something you want to try. Maybe not exactly this, but like I said, all the videos that I do, they're just to get the juices flowing. There's a million different ways to do it. But I think this is going to be a badass setup. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't freaking... I think I got too powerful of a gas strut here. This thing is freaking hard. I dabble. I press down on both of them. Son of a bitch. It's too bad these tanks are brown. It's gonna throw off the feng shui of this whole thing. So, without further ado, let's get started. Kind of flimsy. Not for long. Doug at One Eye Customs. He's probably drooling over this bad boy. This is the XR4000. Are you gonna stick around and help?
No.
Okay,
That's
and what is that thing?
Come here.
Is that a giant rat?
Come on.
Oh, he can jump.
Yes, he can.
What's your name?
See, I'm
That's
Shooter.
a stupid dog.
Look at him smiling.
All right, I got shit to do.
Okay.
Take that little rat and get it out of here.
You want a drink? You want a drink? Mm-mm. Gotta keep stepping on those damn things.
Yeah, well, this is a work zone.
Right there.
This is a workshop.
This is my walkway. When I bring you beer or anything, you gotta clear that for me.
That's a good point. Ow! I was looking at your butt and I didn't realize where I was standing. You wash. Who's this? Steve Allen. Build Life. Hello, Steve.
Hey there.
What's going on?
Got a second for an electrical question?
Yeah, I'm just filming, you know, trying to make a living. You know, it's all right.
Me too.